When you find yourself in this situation, maybe you're the only old person or the only fat person in the gym. 2 months in, I fell and fractured my hand. So at this time, I had my major checkup, which showed I had perfect blood sugar and I had successfully reversed. So pre-COVID Nancy would be sitting on the couch, sipping juice and eating some cake. Having been given the verdict to lose weight by diet and exercise or face the consequences of diabetes in one, after much thought, I set out to change my life. I was not ready to face the consequences of diabetes. Having lost some relatives to diabetes, I knew what it was and how serious that could be. So far, I have shared with you my nutrition journey. In this video, I will share with you my journey to fitness. At 96.5 kilograms, that's about 212 pounds, I was thoroughly deconditioned and I was not really able to do any exercise. So my journey to fitness has been long and it happened in stages. And by the way, I am not a medical doctor. What I share here is from my own experience, opinion, and research. So take it with a pinch of salt, do your own research, and make the best decision for yourself. So I will take you through the first stage of my journey. In stage one, I began by walking. And I remember the first day I walked 1 kilometer. I went home and announced to my family, today I have walked 1 kilometer. And they were thoroughly amused and even laughed about it. Just start where you are. If you can only walk 100 meters, start there. So in the first month, I combined walking my 1 kilometer in the evening with running and walking on a cross trainer. That's an elliptical, which I'd bought some years before. I'll do it for about 10 to 15 minutes in the morning. I hadn't used this elliptical for more than 10 years, but it still served me well. And I did it faithfully for at least a month. At this time, I'd started working on my diet and I was on the common sense diet. Please check my earlier video on the different levels of eating to lose weight. So I was actually at level 1. At the end of that month, I had lost 2 kilograms and 2 inches from my tummy. This excited me and I pushed on. I entered the second stage and I was forced into this second stage because after 1 month, the elliptical cross trainer broke down. And my family suggested that it broke down as I was too heavy to use it. I was now forced to run on the road. So for 6 to 7 days, I'll be up and out of the house at 5:30 a.m. And I mostly did 1/4 running and 3/4 walking. At this stage, I had no workout clothes, and most places were still closed because of the pandemic. So I ran with what I had, and I used some 3/4 shorts that were just short, about this long. And I also used some old rubber shoes that I had and an old t-shirt, and they served me well. During runs, many times elite runners would overtake me on the trail. And what surprised me was that they would say a kind word to me, and this really encouraged me. I remember once one telling me, please try to lift your legs. It will propel you further. And I tried the technique and it worked. At this time, it was March of 2021. Gyms were still closed in my area due to the pandemic. I embraced what I had. That is the road in my neighborhood. I was now able to half walk, half run. And I was now able to run about 3 to 3.5 kilometers. I had also stepped up my diet to level 2, that is healthy plate. After 2 months, I noticed I was actually losing weight. When I measured, I had lost 3 kilograms and 3 inches from my waist. At this point, my family noticed. If you're liking this video, please give it a thumbs up and also subscribe to this channel that more people may get to see it, and also you may be able to get to see more videos from me on this subject. I continued with my evening walk 3 to 4 times a week. I had also now increased the pace of walking. Sometimes I would even walk uphill, 1, 2, sometimes even 3 kilometers. The dramatic change in my appearance really encouraged me to soldier on my fitness journey. Having lost some weight and my aerobic fitness having improved, I was able to run faster and longer. I therefore was now able to enter the third stage of my fitness journey. This time I was able to run longer and I was doing more of 3/4 running and 1/4 walking. And I even increased the distance from about 3 to 3.5 kilometers to 4 to 5 kilometers. And I maintained this for 6 days a week as gyms in my area were still closed. Remember, we are in the pandemic. At the same time, I changed my diet to level 3, that is low carbohydrate, high protein diet. And this stage 3, lasted about 6 months. At the end of 6 months, I had lost 14 kilograms and 10 inches from my waist. This was now August 2021. The pandemic was beginning to ease, and the gyms in my area began to reopen. And I chose to join my neighborhood gym. I just figured out if I go far, however good that gym is, I will not go. But in my neighborhood, I can even walk there or run there. As I joined my neighborhood gym, I changed my exercise regimen and entered stage 4 of my weight loss journey. In stage 4, I maintained my morning run 3 to 4 times a week. And in the evening, I would also walk on the days I didn't run. And sometimes I would walk 2 to 3 kilometers. I also walked to and from the gym, which gave me another 1.5 kilometers. I know it sounds little, but for somebody who had been sedentary and on the couch for a long time, for almost 15 years, this is a lot. So for the 15 years I had been away from the gym, gyms had changed. And I just accepted that I had to restart afresh. I began slowly, actually so slowly, but I'm always grateful to my trainers. And I shout out to my first trainers, Ken and Dan. If you ever get to listen to this, just know I'm grateful for you really encouraged me. The trainers were most helpful, considering maybe I was one of two senior citizens in the gym, that's over 50, in a gym full of young people in their 20s and 30s. Situation. Maybe you're the only old person or the only fat person in the gym. Don't look at other people. Remember, we are all in the gym to improve ourselves. My training in this stage mainly focused on conditioning using small weights. Mostly focused on conditioning using small weights. After losing so much weight, my body had sagged. Actually, I had something hanging here. I don't know what you call that meat or loose hanging thing that hangs on your arms once you lose so much weight. I desperately needed to do resistance training to firm up. For more than 8 months, I had focused only on running. Of course, this was for two reasons. Lockdown had happened, gyms were closed, and at this time I did not know even how to train using body weight. Neither did I have any equipment or know how to use the equipment, even if I had been able to buy it. Secondly, because of the diabetes diagnosis I had received in January of that year, I just wanted to lose the fat quickly. I wanted that fat out of my body and especially my liver and pancreas so that my insulin can work properly and my sugar metabolism can be okay. So at this time, I had my major checkup, which showed I had perfect blood sugar and I had successfully reversed diabetes. My checkup results also showed that I had perfect blood pressure, perfect liver function, and perfect kidney function. I maintained this regimen of training for 1 year and 3 months and slowly lost another 5 kilograms and 2 inches from my waist. I then entered stage 5 of my fitness journey. And this was in January of 2023 when I began bodybuilding, slowly changing from conditioning to now compound lifts and isolation exercises. So this is 100 kilograms or 210 pounds, targeting the front of the upper thighs. Or 154 pounds on the back. Yeah. Oh. I'm also running 5 kilometers 3 times a week and 7 kilometers once a week. 2 months in, I fell and fractured my hand. This humbled me, and I returned to just walking 5 to 6 days a week. And I would do 3 to 5 kilometers for about 3 months. So, in your fitness journey, there'll be bumps along the way. I thought I would return to gym after 6 weeks. It took 4 months for my hand to heal. So, in June of 2023, I returned to the gym for rehabilitation training and I continued running 4 to 5 times a week. In July, I changed my training so that I could climb Mount Kenya, which is the second highest mountain in Africa. I focused on conditioning and running. On some of the days, like once a week, I would actually run 10 kilometers. At this time, I started doing HIIT, that is high interval intensity training. And in this case, I'll do sprints as fast as I can go for like 30 seconds. And then I would rest or walk for like 90 seconds. And then I would repeat the cycle again. And I was actually doing these sprints on a hill in my neighborhood that is about at an inclination of maybe even 45 degrees. So those 30 seconds of sprinting, you'd feel like your heart wants to burst. And I'll do these HIIT sessions like 3 times a week. I successfully climbed Mount Kenya in August of 2023, which is a different video you can watch. And mountain climbing is like doing exercise for the whole day. So this was like continuous exercise for 4 days. Imagine a never-ending irregular staircase which you keep climbing. On return from Mount Kenya, it was time to take a break, and I took a break from exercise for 1 month. even for my body to heal. I returned to gym in September of 2023 and met a new trainer, Derek. Derek, I hope you get to view this video. It was Derek who challenged me to lift heavy. He thought I could do better. In December 2023, just about 3 months after I met Derek, because of emerging issues, I had to go to a new gym. And in the new gym, I would have to run 3 kilometers to the gym to get there. So at this time that this is happening, it is 3 years into my fitness journey. So as you can see, it is not a short time. It is not a sprint. Fitness is a marathon. In 2024, I did interrupt my training for at least 2 months to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. Mount Kilimanjaro is the highest mountain in Africa and the highest freestanding mountain in the world, and it is one of the 7 peaks. How I trained to climb Mount Kilimanjaro is in a different video coming up in the next few weeks. Keep watching. So where am I now on my fitness journey? I have now entered stage 6. I started my journey in January of 2021. It is now February of 2025. This means that this is my 5th year of my fitness journey. So what is my message? Once you start fitness, it's a lifestyle. You don't stop. It's continuous. So you don't do it for a month or 2, achieve your goal, and then stop. So typically in a week, my training is as follows. Twice a week, I'll do the traditional bodybuilding. That is the weightlifting that is done by all classical bodybuilders, including the men. Week, I will do a conditioning class with weights, and this class happens at 5 a.m. Honestly, that one really tries me, getting out of bed at 4:30, but I'm able to do it. All this is courtesy of George, my current gym trainer. George is the first gym trainer I have met who does not think I'm too old or I will break if I lift heavy. Every time I complain that the weight is too heavy, he says, but you can lift it. So shout out to George for the courage to train the older athlete. And I noted that George has many elderly clients. In addition to gym training, I also run 4 to 5 kilometers a week in the morning, twice a week. I do one long run of about 6 to 7 kilometers once a week. For the time being, I stopped the 10-kilometer long runs. Every day, I make sure I've walked at least 10,000 steps, which is another 5 to 6 kilometers. How do I know it's 10,000 steps? I measure with my smartwatch. So invest in a measuring device. It will help you go far. Is it all exercise? No, I take time to rest, and I rest 2 days a week, but I still walk even on the days of resting. In the next videos, I will be sharing my current gym training workouts. So keep watching so that you don't miss to see me in the gym in action. See you in the next video.